Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Double Entertainment. One of my favorite parts of pre-production for a film is casting. I genuinely enjoy speaking to actors and actresses and getting to know them and learning about their ranges and working with new people and even bring the character quite literally to life. However, during the process, I work through BackstageCasting.com, and it's pretty much, for those of you who have never been on there, it's pretty much like the Tinder, only for actors and actresses. And it can be a real pain in the ass. And looking through some of these resumes and headshots, I was scratching my head. So for today, I'm going to be giving you aspiring actors and actresses some tips on acting and marketing yourself from the perspective of someone who does the hiring and who would hire you. At number one, your acting coach more than likely doesn't know jack shit, and you should take what they say with a grain of salt. So we all know the term, if you can't do, teach. That's pretty fucking apt when it comes to acting. My producer for the film, it was actually through an acting school. He had some brief 5-second cameos in movies. He did a lot of stage acting. He was actually a clown for quite a while, and now he's just teaching acting, and his students are god fucking awful. And also, one of the acting coaches I was talking to, who I reached out to from the lead actress, yeah, same thing with him. He was talking out of his ass a lot. I liked his motivational speaking. I loved his optimism. But still, they more than likely don't know what the fuck they're doing. And and right now they're teaching because they need to they need to pay the bills. So take what they say with a grain of salt. And that actually leads me to my next point. One of the rules of thumb that they will teach you if you're studying acting is, if you really want to make it in the industry, you have to move to somewhere like Los Angeles or New York City or even Philly. It's really not that necessary, and as a matter of fact, my upcoming project is going to be shot in my hometown in South New Jersey. Also, I wanted to backstage casting. You can easily just type in your city if you're looking for actors or actresses, somewhere in a 30-mile radius from South Jersey. And again, there's a lot of film directors all over the place. There may be someone in Detroit, maybe in Cherry Hill. But then when I was doing casting for my previous film, which was shot in New York, I literally had to go through at least 200 to 300 pages of headshots. So it's very tedious, and I only made it through, and I was going through every 10th page. So yeah, there's going to be film directors all over the globe. You really don't have to travel. And as long as you get your headshot out there, you will be noticed, and, it's okay to travel. Like, for instance, for me, since I was directing in New York, I got to stay in the apartment we were using for the shoot. Now let's talk about headshots. Obviously, when I'm looking for actors and actresses, the first thing that I'm going to look for is the headshot to see if their physical characteristics match the role. And honestly, I saw some headshots that genuinely made me go, what were they thinking when they did this? Number one, no selfies. I don't mean to sound like a prick, but honestly, I have never reached out to anyone whose headshot was a selfie. Yeah, I don't care if you asked a friend to take a picture of you in front of the Empire State Building or whatever. Just, I don't want any fucking selfies. This is professional. Also, don't take pictures with your bae. I was actually looking for male actors for my upcoming film, and this one dude actually took a picture with his girlfriend in front of the bathroom mirror. Yeah, needless to say, I didn't pick on him. Also, try to keep it professional. I really want to see your face as plainly as possible. It's okay to add some makeup to strengthen out the features, but again, I don't want any fish lips. I don't want any peace signs and crazy angles. Two more wild examples. First, I actually came across a friend's headshot, lead actress's headshot. The one who dropped out. And obviously, when I wanted to talk to her, I got her headshots, multiple. But for some reason, the headshot she chose for backstage casting was a slight variation on the one I initially received. So I'm actually going to use the belt to my robe to demonstrate. She had long hair, and literally her headshot was this. like, she grabbed her hair and it was covering half of her face. So that was, yeah, that had me scratching my head. But I'd have to say the one that really takes the cake was this girl took a picture of her ass with her head slightly turned so I could see it. But her headshot was like 90% of the frame was her ass, and I saw a little bit of her face. Yeah, needless to say, I didn't reach out to her either. And this I really don't need to say, but unfortunately I do. Please know how to fucking act. I'm actually gonna hit two birds with one stone on this one. Number one, I spent my entire life studying film, wanting to become a filmmaker, fighting tooth and nail to get to where I am right now. Where I'm at right now, it's not much. It's bullshit. It's pennies, but it's peanuts. But still, I had to fight tooth and nail to get to where I am right now. And I was studying film since birth. And same thing with acting. You have a lot of actors who were, child actors, were in a lot of auditions, were in a lot of plays and commercials, you name it. But when you show up on set and I'm just interviewing you, and you say, oh, I don't know, I just thought, my daily job is kind of boring, I'm just a bartender, or I'm a computer technician, I thought I'd give acting a try. Literally, you have hundreds and hundreds of other people, and that's actually an understatement. You got more like thousands of other people who really want to be actors, who have studied in tooth and nail the art of acting. If you want to do this as a side fun thing, you're just wasting your time. You're wasting everybody else's time. Take it seriously. This is this is definitely a career. Even though it's an art, it's still a career. And again, we all saw Christian Bale in The Dark Knight. We all saw Brad Pitt in Fight Club. We all wanted to be them and look like them. But, we all have our limitations. So please don't show up on set and don't... It sounds rude, but please don't audition if you can't fucking act. Please have at least some credentials. Please at least have some talent. My next piece of advice is don't act theatrically. Yes, it's called acting, but some people, I don't know, they just go over the top with their theatrics. When I acted in high school, I always got the lead role for even the smaller projects and the bigger projects, and that's because I had one simple rule. I had one simple technique, and that is I would briefly look at my character and I'd think of somebody in my immediate life, whether it was a family member or one of my high school teachers, and I would lampoon them. I would just make fun of them and act like them, and I would just be them. So, but too many people, like for one of my scenes in my film, I spent a good half hour going over the same two lines, to the point I just had to shoot the film whether or not they had it down. Don't act like an actor. Just be yourself. Take your real life frustrations, your real life experiences, and bring that to the camera, or better yet, which is what I like to do because I'm a comedic actor, make fun of somebody and do it as genuinely as possible. As a matter of fact, after the first day of shooting, my friend and I, since we were sharing the apartment, we stayed up and we went through the entire fucking script, going through the lines, and we fucking nailed it. Even the female lines. There's one male character, two female characters. And I have to say, for a damsel in distress, I took the cake. Also, when you're making a movie, you're literally going to have a microphone up your nose, right up to your face. And it's very different than theater acting, whereas in theater, anyone who took theater, I would have my teacher sit all the way in the back, and she would say, I still can't hear you, you gotta project a little bit more. But when you're in front of a camera and you have a boom mic operator with the mic inches from your face, that offers you much wider range. You can talk more quietly, more softly, and that can make it much more raw and realistic, as opposed to, let's say, performing Macbeth or Othello to a 500 audience. And that also goes with facial features. When the camera's up on your face, I want you to bring those raw emotions as well as with your voice. And if you thought I wasn't being mean enough, I'm about to get a whole lot meaner. As a director and a writer, and more importantly, the person who put up the money for the film, I don't give a rat's ass what's going on in your current life. I just have a film to get made. I want to make this film, and I have to get it shot and done by a certain date. So I get it. We all have jobs. We all have to work. We all have to put bread on the table. We all have friends and family. But honestly speaking, it's not, when we're talking about making a movie, we're all professionals. It's not like we're going to go out on a date. It's not like we're going to go on a little vacation. No, this is literally a career. This is a career. This is my career. This is your career. It's not a side fun thing. So if you're having problems with your current day job and you can't call out, or you simply don't want to call out, I get it. I'm not blaming you entirely for that. But simply put, I'm not going to be that sympathetic. I'm not going to say, wait a minute, I'm going to hold on production for another 2 months. Because really, I was up against at least 12 other fucking films for this one minor production company. So I had a very, very short time to shoot this film. And if I postponed it another month or two, it more than likely would have been postponed another 6 months while all those other films were getting made. So if you can't take off of work, or better yet, if you want to go to a friend's wedding, I'm not fully gonna hear, oh, I have to go to a friend's birthday or a wedding, or I already called out last week for work, I'm not calling out this week. All I'm hearing is I can't make it for the film. And as heartbroken as I was when my initial actress dropped out, I had a fucking film to get made, and I had a lot of money put into it already by then. So I just had to go and find another actress, and I found 5 other actresses who auditioned, and obviously I ended up recasting the role. So, yeah, I get it, but really think about it. I know we have to pay the bills, we have to work, I'm in the same shoes, but really, are you willing to give up your big step as an actress in a film, even if it's a minor independent short film, just for a day job, or to go to a friend's wedding? My next piece of advice is when the day you show up on set, please show up in costume. Now I get it if we're shooting something like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and you're playing Leatherface, or if we're shooting William Shakespeare's Julius Caesar. I get it, you'll look a bit ridiculous walking around like a medieval Roman soldier, but for a party scene, I needed my main male actor to wear a nice suit. He showed up on set in a jersey and camouflage pants, and I remember the moment he walked onto the set, I shouted at him and I told him a new one. I said, are you fucking kidding me? You're supposed to be in a suit. Why the fuck are you dressed up like this? And he said, no, it's fine, calm down. I just have it, in my gym bag. I'm going to put on the suit now. Take a load off my shoulders and just show up already in costume, and it will be a whole lot easier and smoother. My next piece of advice is please have a resume, and this goes for filmmakers and writers and actors. Yeah, I'm starting off too. This was my first big project as a filmmaker, but more importantly as an actor. Every actor and actress in my film, this was their first big role in anything. However, a lot of people still see acting and filmmaking as purely a business. It's not a business, it is an art. So let's say I have millions and millions of dollars and I'm about to make the next Avengers movie. I want to make sure I have great actors with great credentials, with a great resume. If I'm hiring a film director, I don't want to hire some prick who just graduated from this unaccredited film school. I want to see someone who actually has something, to prove to me they can handle a big-ass film production. And going back to people dropping out simply because they had to house sit a pet. Yes, one of the actresses I had, she dropped out because she was pet sitting for a friend of hers. If you're dropping out and you don't have any other experience, you're just postponing your career for at least a good year or so. Unless someone really, really likes your headshot and is willing to take that risk, please make those sacrifices. If you really want to act, you gotta make those sacrifices. you gotta act, and you gotta have that resume, because it's gonna be a bitch finding some praying that some other film director is gonna find you and hire you.